Hi, my name is Aeolus, aka your favorite atheist, and I'm here with the Godless engineer.
What up?
And first of all, before we get this thing started, we would like to enlighten everyone on reason. Religiously educated atheists, secularists, and other non-theists. We're a small coalition of atheist activists that seek to improve the world through logic, knowledge, and reason. We have a live show that used to be every Sunday night, but right now, due to our time demands, is every other Sunday night, and it's no longer hosted on my channel. It's hosted on the Godless Engineers channel. So if it sounds like something you'd be interested in, 9 p.m. Eastern every other Sunday night. It's a really great show, and we also have our fellow Reason member Dieter Lukum on there. So, without further ado, we're going to move on to the 5 dumbass comments of the week. Woo!
Yeah, we got some real doozies this week. So let's start off with this one right here.
I'm drinking some Ciroc, and I got some pineapple here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-game real quick, straight from the bottle, because I got a feeling this is gonna be bad.
Well, he's hitting it hard. I'm just going with some urban wheat ale.
What do we got?
Well, we have Jason here. Jason says atheist as if an atheist is talking. I have disproved God by making up a patently ridiculous definition of God and then proving that patently ridiculous is patently ridiculous. Therefore, I am exempt from the logical consequences of atheism, such as the patently ridiculous concept of infinite causal regression. I think he needs to lay off the patently ridiculous. That was way too repetitive in that comment.
Yes, it was. He was trying to make his dumbass point, which failed to be made. Because, okay, first of all, let's address this, okay? What the fuck is he talking about? Logical consequences of atheism. What is he talking about?
I'm not exactly sure where he's going with that. I mean, the logical consequences of atheism, like not believing in God. What logical consequences are there? Like, I can't think of one. Like, he says one of them is the concept of infinite causal regression.
Okay, I see where he's attempting to go with this. Okay, so hold up, listen, motherfucker. So if you're familiar with the cosmological argument, it's basically the first cause argument, right? Is that you cannot have an infinite regress, so there has to be a first cause. But the problem is, whichever thing you say is the first cause, especially if you're going to say that this fucking thing is eternal, that is an infinite regress, because there was an infinite amount of time before God decided to create the universe and when he first thought about it. So an infinite chain of events had to occur, which means it never would have occurred. This is the problem. There's also the problem of the uncaused cause. So both of our solutions to this problem are really fucking bad. But we don't have any proof that a God does exist. So, but we do have proof that the universe exists. So why? I forget what that fallacy is called, but it's basically is it moving the goalposts? Or no, it's special pleading, right? Special
Yeah,
pleading. Why say that? Why say that there had to be a God to do it if we know that the universe exists? If you're going to say that God is eternal and has always existed and is an uncaused cause, then why can't the universe be an uncaused cause?
well,
So,
yeah.
Jason, you fucking dumbass, man, with your dumbass, patently ridiculous nonsense. Then he goes on to say that we make up, hold on, we gotta address this too. We make up patently ridiculous definitions of God.
What definite? I don't understand that part either. Like, what part? What patently ridiculous definition have we come up with? I mean, we're just like in this case. I'm assuming he's talking about the Christian God. They have a book that defines their God. We're not doing the patently ridiculous definition. Their own book is doing the patently ridiculous definition.
Like, seriously, okay, so if what you're saying here is that you don't believe in the deity that is, listed in those books that gives us all this information about this deity, okay, but I'm pretty sure that he was a religious nut job. I don't really remember the conversation, how it went. But we don't make this shit up, man. We're not the one making up fucking gods with these ridiculous ass stories. Okay, it's you motherfuckers with talking snakes and fucking gardens with a tree of knowledge and good and evil in the middle. We don't make this shit up. This is you motherfuckers. And it's not like it's getting any better, okay? What was the most recent religion created? Scientology. Okay, yeah. It gets fucking worse and worse every time.
Well, yeah, I mean, you go from this god that lives in the heavens, and then you go to an alien that lived trillions of years ago and has this whole big council, and then he was banished to Earth, and all of his body parts were thrown everywhere, and now we've got all these little creatures that live inside of us and turn us evil. So
Jason, you dumbass, you. Let's get this shit clear, because you're dumbass of the week, man. Okay. We aren't making up any definitions of God. Your holy texts are doing that perfectly well. And I'm pretty sure that your dumbass believes in a patently ridiculous notion of God. And therefore, you are not exempt from this stupidity that you are projecting onto us with this fucking comment.
Yeah, it's almost like he's trying to say that we build a straw man against God. But, ironically, Muslims, I've seen Muslims argue this exact same point, and their answer is Allah. His answer is Yahweh. How can you really determine which one's correct? I mean, you can't, because they have to make that leap. That's the problem with this whole infinite causal regression, is that they have to make a leap to say, oh, well, it's my God. I know that it's my God because my God said, he created everything. But there's nothing to separate the gods out and to be able to identify, which one is the correct God. So it's just, it's ridiculous whenever they do that, especially with the fact that whatever happened before the Big Bang occurred doesn't affect what happened after. The fact that the Big Bang occurred, we have instances of stuff just popping into existence. Things just, you get these exotic particles and whatnot that pop in and out of existence. And so, it's not this unheard of thing for something to just cause itself. And another good one, and this is something I've addressed in a fallacy video, is that radioactive decay, it's actually truly random in how it selects which atom actually decays next. Like, you can't predict it because it's a purely random thing that happens. And so his whole, it's kind of funny how he says that that we think we're exempt from logical consequences, but yet he auto-assumes that he is exempt from logical consequences because he doesn't see the logical consequences that he actually suffers from. It's quite mesmerizing to see this in one comment.
Well, the thing that gets me, and who is notorious for this cosmological arguments, it's William Lane Craig. And the thing is, the reason why it works for him is because I'll give it to you, okay? The first cause seems like it could be a legitimate argument for God. It's the only argument for God that I would give any credence to whatsoever. But like you said, the problem is when they make that leap of faith from this uncaused cause to their specific God without any evidence whatsoever. And at best, for me, the cosmological argument would only say that there could possibly be a deist God. But a God who does not interact with the universe in any observable way is no different from the God that does nothing at all or doesn't exist. So if we can't observe it or measure it or know that the God is there, then it's pointless to believe in it. So, like I said, the argument, the first cause argument, I think it's a pretty decent one. This is why it convinces people. It seems to be like the most sensible argument for the existence of a God. But that leap of faith, man, we need some evidence, okay? And then we need some evidence that your fucking God is not an infinite causal regression, okay? Dumbass of the week. Next. Oh, number two. We got Anne. She says, atheist. This is what atheists say, I guess. There is no creator, but you can't prove it. Creationist. There is a creator. Creation proves it.
See, this is just an argument from design. I mean, and it's reduced down to its simplest terms because apparently that's all that she can understand. There is a creator because creation proves it. I mean, she's totally neglecting the fact that, in this world we have several different biological processes that allows, amino acids to form on their own. We have all of these different processes that go on, and just because she can't understand it, she uses her own personal incredulity to say, creation proves that there's a creator. And, it's not that atheists say that there is no creator. We say that we don't believe there's a creator. There's some hardline atheists out there that say, nope, there's no God whatsoever. But, I mean, that requires just as much evidence as saying that there is a God, and I think that's going to come up later in another comment, but we can actually prove that a creator didn't create this world. We know exactly how this world came to be. We know how it grew out of lumps of floating particles, basically. And, static charges attracted the smaller ones, and then when it got big enough, gravity took over and started building a world, basically. And so, I mean, we can prove that no creator, we can prove that there are natural processes. Now, what we can't prove is if there's some kind of unknowing God out there that set it all into motion. There's no way that we can disprove that. But, it's not on us to disprove it. It's on them to prove the theory.
I hate how she comes in with the straw man right away. It says that we're saying this generalizing that we say that there's no creator. We never say that. We never say that there is no God. But I always say this. I can prove the negative. If you give me enough information, I can prove the negative. In the same way that I can prove that there is no such thing as a married bachelor, is the same way that I can disprove the existence of your God based on the information that you give me. If it has logical contradictions or it just seems really fucking irrational with the inconsistencies, then I can disprove it. And then she goes on to call the universe creation as to say it was created. Okay, that's total fucking bullshit, okay? I wish that I could call shit what it is. Like, hey, this bottle of liquor is now full. That makes it full, but look, it's not full. That's a problem, okay? Your logic does not follow. You can't just simply call something and then say it was created. It's like you said, this is the simplest, the lowest of the low of all arguments from design. She doesn't even get to the argument from design. She totally skips that.
Well, you pointed out something really good just now, saying, calling it creation. I always miss this because it's begging the question. It assumes the answer because it assumes that the answer is creation and that, kind of insinuates a creator, So, it's begging the question. And it's straw man. I can't. I don't have words for the amount of fallacies that somebody can jam pack into what is basically a tweet.
Basically, what happens here? Okay, this is the thing that pisses me off. Okay, they can write 2 sentences, and then it takes us a fucking essay to address this shit just because. What they can spout off, how much nonsense they can put in 2 sentences. I mean, it's only 2 sentences, but it's like 9 fallacies and like.
I know, it's ridiculous, and I mean, quite literally, I'm fairly certain this person was just like, "Yep, this, that, drop mic." And that was,
and then she thought this was the shit. She thought that she really dropped a bomb on us. Like, yeah, we got this shit. Like, what the fuck, man? Nah, bro. Listen, come on. Okay, listen. What you need to do is read a book other than the Bible or the Quran. She's probably the Bible, okay? And then, after you read that book, make sure it's a science textbook, okay? And then, try to learn something new. And if you can't do that, Go back to your little corner, pray like 10 times, and come back when you're ready to be rational, okay? That's all I have to say about that. Dumbass of the week.
Well, of course, that's assuming that she's actually read the Bible.
Yeah, that's a huge assumption. 82% of Christians only read their Bible while they're in church, which means they only read what the pastor tells them to read.
All right, looks like we got Jesse here looking for a time when atheists will be imprisoned for discriminating believers. I feel like I need the movie voice here. Discriminating people only because of their views should be treated with the same seriosity as anti-Semitism is.
I actually agree with the second sentence. Discriminating people because discriminating against people only because of their views should be treated with the same seriosity, okay, the same seriousness as anti-Semitism is. Yes, that's true. You can't fucking discriminate against people, okay? This is 2015. If you're still discriminating against people, still harming, humiliating, or hurting them in any way, come on, man, get with the program. But the first sentence, looking for a time when atheists will be imprisoned for discriminating believers? Us. You know, because we're out here burning motherfuckers at the stake and hanging them. And don't think that this shit happened in the 1600s, because there are still kids in Africa right now being accused of witchcraft and being ostracized and marginalized from their families. There's videos on YouTube where you can go see these people being outcast in their own fucking town by their own fucking parents, man. Don't give me this bullshit that we're discriminated against you. We're not being silent anymore. That's what's happening. We're speaking out against your bullshit. That's not discrimination, okay? It's not persecution if I don't share your belief. It's not persecution if I call into question your belief. It's not discrimination. You're not going to imprison us because we're curtailing or removing your privilege to keep us silent.
Yeah, well, no, exactly. And what's really sad is that I know exactly where this person is coming from on this, because what they're talking about is most definitely public prayer, you know, like the praying football coach, you know, being able to pray in school or have a teacher lead a prayer. And apparently that's atheists are discriminating against believers, and she thinks that we need to be imprisoned. Well, no, I think that, you know, if anything, there would be like a fine, maybe. Like, I don't think like even for a Christian, it's not like jail time. Like, you know, Kim Davis, she got jail time, but that's because she threw up the middle finger to the judge when he said, "Hey, you better go ahead and issue licenses," and she was like, "Nah, fuck you, motherfucker," you know, and that's pretty much what she was like. And but for this right here, I mean, she's just looking to have atheists locked up and thrown away so that it's kind of like, oh, atheism is illegal now, and so you have to believe in God, because if you don't believe in the same thing I do, it's like Tinkerbell, God just will disappear. You gotta believe.
There are like 13 countries where you can go to where atheism is punishable by death. I think there's another 22 where atheism is punishable by imprisonment. So if that is like the main thing that you need in life, I will buy you a ticket to one of these countries. Contact me, because, you know, we don't need this type of nonsense in America. We're trying to move towards progression, okay? And shit like this is holding us back. We can't fucking be so PC, here is the correct term, PC, that we can't even criticize an idea. We're going to criticize the idea. It's a bad fucking idea, okay? Your religion is a bad fucking idea. You might be a great person, okay? As a religious person, I thought I was being discriminated against too. I bought that whole persecution narrative. But listen, you're actually not. Open up your fucking eyes and see how much privilege you actually have. You're not being discriminated against. But can I make my original offer? It stands. If you want to go to one of these countries, I think it's 13 where atheism is punishable by death. 22 where we can be imprisoned, I will personally buy you a plane ticket to one of those countries. One way.
Well, now I'm kind of curious as to how many Christians would get over to like Iran and then just immediately get in line to throw a homosexual like off of a building or something like that. Like, I mean, that just seems to be like the dream for some of these freaking Christians, is that they just want to be able to enforce the, you know, those barbaric laws of the Bible, and you know, they're willing to do anything for it. And it's completely ridiculous. And to talk about, you know, discriminating against believers, well, apparently a private company choosing a design for their cup is persecuting Christians now. If that's not an indication of how not persecuted you are, that you have to actually actively look for things to be offended by, you need a new hobby other than finding, you know, stuff to be offended about.
Right, and there's real fucking persecution going on. There's real discrimination going on. I don't know if you saw recently, ISIS lined up a bunch of Christians and chopped their heads off. That's real fucking persecution, okay? That's real discrimination. Boko Haram going to a Christian town and murdering every fucking body in the town. That is real persecution. You don't... like, how do you even compare that to what we do, which is not... okay, because she specifies here, atheist, which is just people who don't believe in a God. You and I, GE, we're a little bit more than just atheists, okay? I know so many atheists who don't have anything to do with criticizing religion. They just live their fucking everyday lives as if they didn't believe in a God, because they don't. The same way the average religious believer lives their life believing in a God. These people are just like that. We take it a step further and we criticize and make our beliefs vocal. So what she's actually specifying here, she didn't say that. She didn't say anti-theist. She didn't say vocal atheist. She said atheist. She wants all atheists thrown in jail.
Exactly.
The worst part about this is that right-wing Christians, which is probably what she is, have no idea how much they have in common with groups like ISIS. If they ever did, we might be in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. But Jesse, you have just become part of the dumbasses of the week. Thank you so much for your comment.
Hall of Fame, bitch.
All right, now we have Harold here.
Do
you want to read? I read the last one. How about you?
Sure. Harold says, "Oh yeah. He's a dumbass. I just skimmed the first sentence, and he's a dumbass. I've always had a negative view of atheists because they want to force their viewpoints by destroying Christian symbols. Atheists are a scourge to mankind, and they will find out one day how really misinformed and hard-headed they have really been. I still pray for their lost souls and hope they wake up before it's too late with 10 likes."
Oh, okay. You know, pray your heart out. It's not going to matter to me. I mean, I'm not going to know. Because there's no difference in prayer. Doesn't hold any kind of special meaning to me. But, you know, he says that he's always had a negative view of atheists because they want to force their viewpoints by destroying Christian symbols. What Christian symbols are we destroying? I seem to remember recently Christians destroying a whole bunch of adopt a highway signs by where a local atheist group took up a highway. And with the adopt a highway program, what it is, it's a litter prevention program, and basically you pay money and then a crew comes in and and the money that you pay helps keep that stretch of road clean of litter. And so basically, these Christians were making it pretty null and moot for them to even give money to the Adopt a Mile program, because they're having to waste so much money on either replacing these signs or cleaning the signs. And it just seems like it's pretty... They're forcing the atheist donation to be meaningless by destroying this stuff. What do you think he means by destroying Christian symbols?
I think what he means is like when monuments like the Ten Commandments get taken down. And let me be perfectly clear here, okay? I'm an atheist, and I do not want to force my viewpoint on anyone. I don't want to destroy any Christian symbols, but what it seems like is he's projecting here onto us. He wants to destroy atheists and to stop his religious symbols from being removed. Let me make this thing clear. Let me see if I can pan my camera here. Over here on the wall, next to my old fatigues there, I've got a picture of Jesus Christ holding up the world. Do you see that shit? In my kitchen, I have the verse from Paul about from 1 Corinthians, love is patient, love is kind. In my car, I have a cross that my grandmother gave me before she passed, and it's hanging up on my rear view mirror. That doesn't sound like the type of person that wants to destroy Christian symbols. I'm all for you having your symbols. You can have as many fucking symbols as you want. But the thing is, you cannot have these symbols on public government property. Because what that does is it sends a message to everyone that the government sponsors this religion. And if you're going to do that, you have to make it open for everyone. But Christians have been fighting that. We've seen that the Satanists have finally been able to get their own monuments and things. But these Christians have been fighting that. They don't understand the privilege that they have, that their monuments are just up everywhere, all over the country. They really don't get it. We don't want to destroy your symbols. But you cannot use the government to propagate your religion. You can't use it to support your religion. If we're going to do that, we have to support every single religion. And that's just not feasible, so we shouldn't do any at all. We're not trying to destroy your symbols. We just want you to keep your religion to yourself. We want you to keep your Christian symbols on private property. That's all I want. I don't get offended at all if I see a nativity scene. Most of the time, I'm probably going to look at it. I might take a picture. I might say that it's cute. I don't want to destroy it. I don't run around and say, I'm going to set fire to this nativity scene. No. Like, his negative view of atheists, I bet he's never met a real atheist. I bet it comes from his pastor or from what he's heard about atheists.
Well, what I find is funny is that the saying that we're I guess he's trying to say a scourge to mankind. I really don't know what he's trying to say.
I think he's trying to say scourge.
Scourge? Well, it's negative either way. But we're a scourge to mankind. Now, I don't know, but one prominent atheist that has done pretty good things has been Bill Gates. I mean, he's got a charity. He helps third world countries. I mean, we're not, He's used vaccines to pretty much wipe out diseases that would otherwise be running rampant. Oh, yeah. So I don't understand how he's coming to we're a scourge to mankind.
Well, actually, the evidence and all the statistics are against him on this.
Yeah.
If you want to talk morality, atheists are less likely to get an abortion, less likely to get a divorce, less likely to be a criminal. We're more likely to be highly educated, more likely to be financially secure, which means we're not a burden on the economy. We're contributing. The statistics are in our favor on every single issue. How are we a scourge to mankind?
Well, interestingly enough that you bring that up, is that recently a study was done in Texas where they found that up to about 250,000 women have self-induced aborted babies because of the restrictive legislation that was passed there that caused abortion clinics to pretty much shut down. And it's just that kind of healthcare is not available in Texas pretty much. And it's caused women to self-abort, and these self-abortions would include like homeopathic remedies, ingesting certain fluids, kind of like the stuff that's in the Bible, and then it goes all the way to the extreme of just getting kicked in the stomach.
That's Numbers 5, in case anyone is wondering.
Yeah. I couldn't remember the chapter or book, but I knew it was in there. But they're calling us a scourge on mankind, but yet it seems to me like they're the ones that are doing mankind, or at least America. It seems like they're the ones that when they get their way, they're actually hurting the general population.
They really are. And I mean, if you look at the Bible Belt statistics compared to the other states, it's horrible. Of course, that's a correlation, right? It's all a correlation. Someone is going to cry, correlation, correlation, but correlations provide relevant information, especially if you've got 90 fucking correlations that say the Bible Belt is doing bad at these things. Then if you compare the most religious state, which is Mississippi, with the least religious state, Vermont, okay, yeah, maybe that is still, it's not direct evidence that your religion is a harm, but it's a sign that, hey, this highly religious state is not the utopia that religion says it's going to be. Religion has failed as this moral precedent. Okay, we need to move on. It's 2015, okay? We're not living in fucking 360 AD, okay? We're in fucking 2015. Let's please get it together.
Oh, I also like how he says we'll figure out one day how horribly misinformed we are. And, if any group out there wants information on the afterlife or God or anything, it's going to be the atheists. I mean, we're constantly asking for evidence, but all we get are logical fallacies in return. And I like how he says that we're misinformed when actually he's the one that ignores information in order to make his worldview fit.
And ignores evidence. And the thing is, okay, look, I don't know about other people, but I don't want to fucking die. I'm a narcissist motherfucker. I'm in love with my mind, okay? I wish that I could fucking live forever. If you can show me evidence of an afterlife or a way that I can live forever, you think I'm going to say no to that shit, man? Nah, bruh. I'm trying to stay as long as I can, okay? I love life. I love living. I love the experience of going every day and being able to learn something new, do something new, help someone. That's like what I live for, man. If you're going to tell me that I can live forever, if you show me something, I will believe that shit in a heartbeat, man. All I need is just one shred of evidence. But you don't fucking have that. And the saddest part about being an atheist is that we won't be able to say, I told you so, after we die.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of people like to say, well, what do you think happens after you die? And I like the Louis C.K. I think it's Louis C.K. that says this, but he's like, a lot of things happen after we die. Just don't include you.
None of them involve you. And it's like, well, where do you think you're going to die? Where do you think you're going to go when you die? Well, I'm probably going to go to the same place I was before I was born. Back to the universe, bro.
Oh, yeah.
We came from the stars, and to the stars we shall return. Dumbass of the week, man. And not to mention how ridiculous prayer is, okay? Because, and I need to make this clear here. Did you want to talk about how ridiculous the prayer is for our lost souls?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is ridiculous because prayer, multiple studies have been done on prayer, and it only shows that it has negative effects, at least in the medical sense. And, I mean, still, even outside of the medical sense of it, saying that you're going to pray for our lost souls, one thing, souls don't exist. Don't be ridiculous, okay? Harold, don't be fucking ridiculous about that shit. Souls don't exist. We don't have a soul. We have a biomechanical body which energy runs through it, and then we expel energy, and so it's just a constant motion of energy, and our brain is the circuitry that controls us. The circuitry can be reset, and we can be different people. That's what commonly happens with people that suffer amnesia. You suffer amnesia, you forget about your past, your wiring gets reset in there, and a lot of times people come out with different personalities from that. So there's no real evidence for a soul. I mean, you can remove half of your brain, so a soul's not up there. I mean, soul's not in your heart. That's just a mechanical part in your body. You know, I mean, but the whole concept of prayer, you know, God is supposed to have this plan, right? He's supposed to know everything that's going to happen, right, in the future. And if you pray, that's basically saying, hey, God, I know you got a plan and all, right? I'm going to fuck it up a little bit. I'm going to ask you to, yeah, just not this one, but this one. I need you to change your plans for me because I'm that fucking special.
Well, it's like George Carlin said, what good is the divine plan if any rundown, what is it, any rundown schmuck with a $2 prayer book can come and just request something different. I'm loosely paraphrasing, okay? It's probably much better than that. But here's the thing, that this is why praying for atheists is offensive, okay? At least to me. Because as an atheist, becoming an atheist was the best fucking thing I ever did. I became more humble, more, I wouldn't say more intelligent, but more, I seek out more knowledge now. I hold less opinions, and I try to look at things from a rational perspective. I look for the facts, I look for the evidence, I look for logic and reason, okay? And I'm happier than I've ever fucking been as a religious person. Okay, and what I hear when you say you're going to pray for me to wake up is that you know what's better for me than I know what's better for myself. And that's some bullshit, man, because I'm happy. I live a very happy life. I live a very fulfilling life. And when I hear you say you're going to pray for me, you're like, nah. Fuck that. Come back to my celestial dictatorship. I want to see you miserable, motherfucker. That's what I hear when I hear you're going to pray for me. Okay, don't pray for me. I'm doing just fine. But 20,000 kids are going to die today, and most likely from starvation. And they're going to die again tomorrow. And 20,000 kids are going to die every fucking day because your God doesn't fucking care, obviously. So what you should do is pray for them, okay? But people like me and GE, we're going to do what we can do to take action. If I could feed 20,000 starving kids today to prevent them from dying, I would. And that's the difference between me and your God.
Exactly. You know, that's another thing that you brought up just now is whenever somebody comes at you like saying that I pray that you will come to God or something like that, I don't ever hear it as them, you know, wishing or you know, it being a good thing or anything. What it says to me is like, hey, look, you have your own beliefs. They make me uncomfortable. You need to have my beliefs in order for me to be comfortable. So I am going to ask my mystical man wizard up in the sky to change your mind about it just so that you can agree with me. And it's basically saying, I don't like your beliefs. You need to have mine. And to me, that's just so arrogant and douchebaggy. You just need to take your dick waffle self along and just go somewhere else with it.
It's really self-serving and selfish as fuck. And don't get me wrong, I should make this clear, okay? When people say they're going to pray for me, I used to be a Christian. Okay, I get what you mean. Most Christians, when they say that they're going to pray for you, they really mean that shit, okay? They are meaning the best thing for you. But if I make clear to you why praying for me is a bad thing and how much better I'm doing now as an atheist, how my life has changed in amazing ways since I became an atheist, and then you still say that you're going to pray for me, then we're going to have to call you out on that bullshit, okay? Because at that point, what you're saying is, nah, fuck what you think. This is what I think. And my way or the highway, motherfucker. So, right. Harold, I think we spent about 30 minutes on you for what? For 3 sentences and 10 likes on Facebook. Dumbass of the week. Next.
Yes, well, now next is our last one, but it's also the best one of the week. And it's Tom here. Tom.
21 likes.
Yes, there is no such thing as being an atheist. They say they don't believe in God, but you have to believe in God to believe there is not one. Did you know that, Aeolus? That you have to believe in God in order to deny that you believe in God. Oh, mind is blown. It's like Inception.
No, mine does not fucking blow. Mine is on fire from the stupidity because it fucking burns. Okay, you have to believe in a God to believe there is not one. Did you really think about this shit before you typed it, or did you just type the first thing that came to mind, man? Dude, this, oh my god, this is just so far from reality. I can't even take it, man. It's like, you gotta believe in unicorns to believe they don't exist. You gotta believe in werewolves to believe they don't exist. You gotta believe in my 19-inch penis in order to believe that it does not exist.
I was a little afraid there. You were leaning back. I thought you were ready to just whip that 19-inch thing out.
I haven't had that much to drink yet.
Yeah, there's no such thing as being an atheist. They get this whole concept because they say that, well, God's law is written on our hearts, and we all know God. We just deny God. See, basically, she's drinking the shit that's coming out of Ray Comfort's mouth, saying that, you know, there's not really any atheists out there. They just like to deny God because they love their sin. See, but the thing is that sin doesn't exist. There's good and bad, and even those are subjective terms. Depending on the time frame that you live in and the society that you live in, good and bad changes just all the fucking... It's so... It fluctuates so fucking much that you can't even say that Christianity has been objective. I always like that kind of point that they try to make, that Christianity provides an objective base. No, it doesn't. It fucking doesn't, because Christianity has changed throughout time. And so, you know, I know I'm kind of getting off subject here, but I know that's where this person's going.
Well, let me address this too before I forget, because I'm drunk as fuck right now, okay? I'm really feeling the buzz. Okay, but you mentioned that these Christians think that God's law is written on our heart. They obviously haven't fucking read the Bible, man, because the Bible teaches very strictly that no person of their own volition can accept the Word of God. No person of their own will can accept the atoning work of Christ, because we're so embodied in sin, right? This is a teaching of the Bible, that nothing we can do of the flesh can ever accept God. What we do because of the fall of man, this is what the Bible teaches, because of the fall of man, sin is so inherent that no matter what, we will always reject God. So basically, when you say that we all know for a fact that God exists, you are actually contradicting what the Bible says, because the Bible says that we don't know that, we'll always reject it no matter what, and the only person that can change that is God. So you can't say that there's no such thing as being an atheist. If I were to take that passage and apply it generally and broadly, that would, well, not just that passage, it's several passages that make this point, but it's mostly Paul who makes this point. It would be that everyone is a fucking atheist. The only reason you wouldn't be an atheist if his God came down, oh, and touched you right there. Oh, he got you. And now you suddenly believe because he changed your nature. Okay? And yes, there is a such thing as being an atheist. For me and GE and other vocal atheists who do this shit on a daily basis, yes, we talk about it a lot. We understand you don't get why we do this. But there are other atheists that you don't hear from and you don't know about. They go on every fucking day living their average life and never think about your dumbass religion. They live their life as if there's no God. That's it. It's the same life that you live, except they don't pray, they don't waste 10% of their money, and they don't go to church.
Exactly. And I mean, the clusterfuck there at the end, you have to believe God to believe there is not one. I honestly can't believe that this person, whether it's the man or the woman, I really can't tell. The woman looks like she could be named Tom. I don't know.
Well, it's not Tom. It's Thom, unless the H is silenced.
Yeah, I don't know. Thom, I don't know. The woman looks like a thom. Let's just assume that it's the woman. The woman here...
Wait. What if it's Thumb?
Thumb?
Yeah, what if it's Thumb? We don't know. It could be Thumb. Like Thumb.
did their parents just was like, well, we got to name the kid? I don't know. I'm looking at my thumb. Thumb. That is an awesome name.
I don't know if that was just really fucking funny or I'm drunk, so it was funny anyway. But that was pretty fucking funny.
But I mean, I really can't believe that they wrote that last one in a serious manner. Like, you have to believe in God in order to believe there is not one. It's like,
But wait. That's not even the worst part, man. That's not the worst part. Yes, that was a dumbass comment. It was so stupid that we had to address it. But the worst part is that 21 people. 21. 21. 2, 1. 10 plus 10 plus 1. I need to make this clear that 21 fucking people actually liked this shit. They were like, hey, Thumb has got a point, so we should like this comment. 21!
Hey, hold on. Get this. Thumb got 21 thumbs.
But this is so ridiculous, man. Like, holy shit. Like, okay. Let's get sober here for a minute. 21 people actually read that and said, hey, that's some legit ass shit, man. You really stomped those atheists.
Yeah, I could just say it's like reading that and then they're just like, oh, yeah, she's got a point. Like.
I really can't, man. See, one of the things that I do, and this really happened when I become an atheist. I never did this as a religious person, but as an atheist, I always revisit whatever I think about a specific issue. I always go back and look at what I said, reread what I typed, read what I write, and see if I can change, or if I still hold the same idea. I want to make sure that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I care about the truth, man. And there's no way, even as a Christian, I never would have wrote, you have to believe in a God to believe there is not one. Because there's no way with my rational mind I could not apply that universally to other shit. Like, how do you not think? Like, how do you not realize how stupid that is? You have to believe in a God to believe there is not one.
Well, this reminds me of one common argument that you see amongst Christians, and that's it's a huge cop-out. That in order to understand God or explain God or really grasp the Gospels or anything like that, you have to first believe in God. So in order for you to understand what the Bible is saying, you have to first believe that the Bible knows its shit. And it's just like, no, I can't. Like, that's backward ass fucking logic there. How the fuck do you start a car in the morning, man?
Listen, Thumb, you gotta believe in Allah to believe that there is no Allah. You gotta believe in Krishna to believe there is no Krishna.
You gotta believe in Zeus in order to believe there's not a Zeus.
Wait. It gets even better, though. Let me flip this comment on its head. Because you said there's no such thing as being an atheist. So you have to believe in atheists to believe there's no atheists.
Ooh,
what the fuck?
Boom.
Boom! Can we drop the mic on this shit? Hello. Mike, you see the mic drop?
Yeah.
Sorry, sound guy.
So, you just pointed out a self-burn. I mean, this is a comment that self-burns itself. I mean, this is burnception.
If I would have been sober, I may have seen that sooner. But this just proves, okay? This just proves that even drunk as fuck, we're still being more logical, more rational, and much more decent human beings when we're not religious.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't take much when compared to the Bible or the more radical parts of any kind of religious idea. I mean, it's really magnificent how they can project so much onto us when it like perfectly describes their own realities.
I mean, I can agree with that wholeheartedly. I still, man, I had so much more faith in humanity than this, that 21 people would like this shit. 21 people read this shit and were like, hey, man, that is fucking awesome. That deserves to be liked. I'm going to like this shit.
Yeah.
You know, I thought maybe that in our lifetime we might see the age of reason, but obviously I was wrong. So, Thom, or Tom, whatever your fucking dumbass name is, you are the most epic dumbass of the week.
Boom. Well, I know both A-List and I would love to thank everybody for watching this video. We're going to try to make this kind of a regular thing. It's on my channel this time. Next time, though, it's going to be on A-List's channel. Definitely go down below, hit that link up, go watch his vids, and subscribe to this motherfucker. Yeah,
subscribe, motherfuckers. Okay, how do you think? Like, hey, we love you, motherfuckers, okay? When we see that, I don't know if GE gets the notification. You get the notifications when somebody subscribes?
Yeah, I used to, but here lately I haven't really been getting them. But I've been growing pretty steadily.
I get happy as fuck. It's 3 a.m. I'll be sleeping, right? This is me. I'm like, bring, bring. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Look, see? Hey, somebody subscribed to your channel. I'm like, yeah! Somebody else just came to reason, motherfucker. Yes! So listen, we're happy to have you guys watch us. Okay, I'm not just saying that because I'm wasted out of my mind. But we want you to subscribe. We want you to like this. If you like this video, we're going to probably be doing a lot more of these. So stay tuned. As he said, it's on his channel. Next time, it'll be on mine. We're going to continue to alternate. I'm also going to throw the promo out there. Don't forget to go like the Godless Engineer Facebook page and the Godless Engineer group.
Yeah. Well, we're going to head out of here. You guys head over to A-List's channel, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, and may reason always outweigh.
May reason always outweigh religious ignorance? Is that
religious stupidity. May reason forever outweigh religious stupidity.
There we go. We got there finally. We got there. That's all that's important.
But I'm still being more rational than these dumbass motherfuckers.